Hello, it's Amber. How's everybody doing? It's been a couple weeks. I'm Rogue Mama Stitcher on Instagram and Amethyst Rain on Flosstube. So if you like what you see on my channel, if you like the content, please like and subscribe and possibly share if you think other people would be interested also. So I just got off a week vacation with my boys. It's now been a few days since we got back, just tying up loose ends and things like that. So we went to the Northwest, and that's actually where I'm from and where my parents are from. So I'm from Washington State, but also it's very close to the Oregon border, to the Columbia River. So I'm kind of consider Portland as really close to, what is really close to where I grew up. So it's just like 20 minutes away. So anyway, so my mom's actually from Oregon. My dad's from Washington. So anyway, what was that? Just one second. Okay, sorry. Just wanted to make sure that everything was all right. It was a road trip. So I wanted to, drive them by certain spots, and, they like to stay in hotels and go swimming at the pool and I have like the continental breakfast and stuff, even though those are like nasty this time. So anyway, it was a little underwhelming, let's just say, the breakfast. Let's see. But we had a good time doing that, and the driving was good. We did that in 2 legs, so it was like a good 16 hours of driving, maybe a little bit more, just with stops and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, we went. With stitching, let's just say I did bring my stitching, and I had one finish, and without my light, it's not as easy to see, if your stitches are as neat as you want them to be, and if they're going where you want them to go, because I use 28 count. So I'm looking for it's right under me. Anyway, so this is the one that I ended up finishing while we were there. So that's so cute. It's the Sleeping Couple by Soda Stitch, and I absolutely just love it. I haven't washed it or anything. I haven't washed it and ironed it yet, but I think I'll probably put it on a quilt with other like maybe four with the blue, this like kind of denim-ish kind of blue with like sort of the cloudy white in it, and then the other fabric I'll show later that's kind of like maybe like a mustardy yellow, I think, and the same like kind of cloudy white in it. So yeah, so that was exciting to be able to finish that. It's definitely a sense of normalcy for me to bring my stitching and do that at night and just help to wind down, and I had like no problems winding down and going to sleep with my stitching, once I was done with my stitching. So let's see. So first I'll just tell you a little bit about our trip, our journey. So my youngest is 9, so he's almost into the double digits, and since it'd been 7 years since we'd been to the Northwest, he didn't really like remember Grandma and Grandpa in person at all. So that was really urgent to me. Like, my parents are getting up there in their years, and so I wanted him to be able to see them when they were when they were kind of like more fresh and could remember him too, and things like that. And so they, that we could do more things together. And so yeah, it was a really good time. Like, everybody had a good time. So so my parents' house is like pretty close to the Lewis River. Like, I'm talking really close. And I took the boy, like, I used to go swim in the Lewis River with my best friend when we were growing up. and she was right on the river. And so we would go and, you know, she had like a pool and a jacuzzi, and then she had the river, just like you walk down the hill, you know, right in front of her house and just go into the river. So we would just, you know, do pool, jacuzzi, you know, river, and then just do that all over again and look at the crawdads and things like that in the water. And so anyway, it was really fun doing that. And then I wanted to take my boys to, you know, check out where I used to swim and where I used to play when I was younger. And we already took our oldest, she's 15, but you know, he has more vague memories of that. So anyway, so I took them down to a little secret spot, and you know, it's not a lot of people, like you know, there's a lot of kind of partiers at like Louisville Park a lot of times, like where the public goes. And so, you know, a lot of rabble rousing, I guess you could say. So I just figured it's just better to take, you know, the boys to somewhere we could just enjoy the wildlife and the nature and things without the distraction. So we did that. We climbed down this 100-foot cliff, but we like slid down on our behinds. And at the last time I was there, which was probably 10 years ago, I went with my husband, and I don't remember sliding down our behinds. So I thought we could walk down, and so maybe my husband knows a better trail, you know, or could remember, but I'm wondering if it was erosion or something like that, because like the ground is kind of, you know, like less stable than it used to be. So yeah, we just slid down on our behinds, and we ended up like a crawdad like crawled on my foot, and I was like, ah, you know, because like crawdads were not friendly when I was little. And I just thought, okay, well, if I move my foot, then he's gonna get freaked out and he will not, you know, want to be near me anymore. And it did not deter him at all. He climbed, like he kept like going toward my foot and kept following me anywhere I'd move my foot. So I don't know, he wanted to be friends. And so so I just told my kids, I was like, go ahead, you know, try to catch them, you know, like let's check them out. We just were curious about them too. So about like 10 of them ended up coming out from under the rocks, and it was like nuts. Like they were so sweet and just so friendly, and just you know, so my oldest caught a couple of them, and I went back to the bank and asked my oldest to grab just like one of them and like bring him over so I could get the little crawdad had a little photo shoot. He had the, you know, most pictures of anybody on the trip because he was so cute. Anyway, so there he is. I have shown him on Instagram, but isn't he cute? My mom said he looks like a little toy. So anyway, to give you like some maybe perspective, you know, and how big he was, that my boy was holding him there, and he was my child is taller than I am. My child's like the height of an average sized man, so that's how, and his hands are bigger than mine. That's how big that darn crawdad is. Anyway, so they were orange and they were brown and like really, really, really cool. Anyway. So that was an awesome, oh, and there was a deer that like went and got a drink of water like right next to us, and my youngest was like looks up because he heard the hoofs in the water, and you know, the deer's just lapping up the water and just, you know, peacefully goes into the woods after that. And then, you know, we saw fish, my kids saw a fish swim by, and I don't know, it was just really wonderful. Because, I mean, we live in the desert, and you can find wildlife, but it's really, to me, it's not the same as what I experienced when I grew up. So, anyway, so that was wonderful. And then when we climbed back up, you know, when we needed to go and do some other things, we had to grab like tree roots and branches, and grab like really, you know, kind of big handfuls of ferns. And I don't, if you guys know what the ferns are like there, they, you know, puff out the spores quite a bit if you touch them. So we got covered in that stuff, and it was just a good time. And my my youngest wasn't as used to that as, you know, I am. You know, obviously he didn't grow up there. So he was born there, but he didn't grow up there. So he was just, you know, kind of like, what the heck? You have to do all this and grab these? What? You know? So it was fun though. He got used to it toward the end there, but he then accidentally touched a stinging nettle, and that was, you know, that was too bad. But my dad went and grabbed him in his backyard, grabbed him like some comfrey leaf and like rubbed it on the stinging nettles, and it was a good experience for him because then he got to see the bumps disappear, and it was all good. Anyway, sorry, it was like a lot of talking about our vacation, but it was really fun. It was pretty much just like perfect, just like what I wanted it to be for my kids. So yeah, then we ended up going to Seaside, Oregon, and that is a place that, you know, I went to a lot as a child, and Astoria, Oregon. That's, you know, where my mom's from, and her dad before that, and you know, he's the one that settled there, moved there. My grandma was not from there, but anyway, so we went and we visit seals. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the aquarium there or fed seals, but it was so fun. And I don't think I shared pictures of them, but they are just so cute. Like they do like different things. Each of them do different things to get the fish, but I love the ones that, you know, slap their bellies. And there used to be a couple people have brought up the really loud ones that used to be there, and they were huge, and they would, like, I'm not gonna impersonate them, but they would yell like so loud, and their voices were really deep, and they'd like splash, and yeah, it was just it was crazy, you know, like 10 years ago. But there are really nice ones there now that are not loud, but they do splash. Some of them do splash. That's one of their things to do. Anyway, so my kids had fun doing that, and then I wanted to, you know, have the kids walk on the boardwalk and walk around the shops and stuff, because I remember having like homemade ice cream from there, and you know, there's like saltwater taffy, cotton candy, stuff like that, like just, you know, sweets, but mainly to me it just like smells really good. And so, you know, we got to like walk around and smell all that, but my youngest was having allergies, so we couldn't, you know, get a bunch of candy and sweets, so that was too bad, but it's okay. So yeah, and it was like kind of perfect that I started my ice cream van there, because ice cream was like kind of like a bigger like thing for my family. I think like my grandma, you know, that settled in Astoria with my grandpa, like she was like a huge fan of ice cream, and she and I would you know, she would like get that for us for a treat, or make sure we were sharing that if we ever stayed at her house. Anyway, so and my mom used to work at an ice cream stand in Astoria. So anyway, I don't know if she'd want me to say where, but yeah, it was like in the 1950s, so I'm sure it's gone. But anyway, so yeah, and then we also in Astoria got some Goonies memorabilia. So I'm going to show you one of my most, you know, prized possessions of what we ended up with. So pretty sweet. So yeah, that, and then I'm gonna have my son come and show his shirt. Okay, here's the shirt that we got for my youngest. So pretty cool. It's got the treasure map, and there's silhouettes. And he loves the Goonies, and so does our older son. So, and then there's the shot glass. It's like, let's see. Let me put this. There we go. I love Goonieville, USA, Astoria, Oregon. So, pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, I showed that already.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So, what else did I want to tell you? Oh, I was going to show my ice cream van start by, well, it's a little more than a start now. Now it's just a whip, but by Doreen Jones. So here it is. You can see a little bit of the sparkle, the opalescent on that peach fabric. It's really pretty. So yeah, there's the ice cream van. And then those, so the needle minders are the two on the sides. Those are Gina's Unique Boutique. And actually, she's on Etsy. I'm not sure if she's, her shop is, you know, if she's doing anything right now, if she's selling. I think it said she was on vacation or on a break or something. Anyway, but the one in the middle, that ice cream bar, that is actually a freebie from, like, that came in the Pokey Parlor's project bag order that I made. So I was surprised. I'm like, hey, that is perfect for my next start. So that is her project bag, the cats. So that was really good for the sleeping couple. And that has this little cute cat zipper on it. And yeah, it's perfect. I love it. Yeah, so I'll get from her again if I need more project bags. So yeah, so thank you, Pokey Parlor, for that. But I believe she's Pokey Parlor on Etsy and also on Instagram. So she should be I think she should be easy to find. Or if you just look up project bags, I think. So, let's see, what else? Sorry. Oh, yeah. Oh, and then I was gonna tell you guys that, let's see. Oh, that it was, well, yeah, never mind. Oh, okay. So I was actually gonna say, like, it was really nice that that there was Goonies memorabilia. I couldn't even believe my eyes, because when I had been to Astoria as a kid, there was like no Goonies memorabilia. It was just my cousins saying, oh, you know, they filmed that here, or maybe my aunts and uncles or something, and you know, just kind of like telling us like where those the film locations or the film spots would be. And so that was really neat. And I think we just drove by the Goonies house, you know. So that was, you know, kind of different. You know, I could actually have like memorabilia to take home with me. And then Kindergarten Cop was actually filmed there too. I don't know. My cousins were like extras in that. I thought that was kind of funny. And I don't remember like what parts they were in, but anyway, just Astoria, kind of cool place, kind of cute little nook in the world. So yeah, and then I wanted to tell you like that a little bit about my grandma, because she had a huge influence on me, like crafting. So I'm guessing it's in the DNA too. But when she used to make Afghans, like those granny square Afghans, I think she made those for like everybody in all of her grandkids, probably all, and for sure all of her kids. And yeah, like I used to just like watch Perry Mason with her, like if you guys have heard of Perry Mason. So like went from like the late 50s to the late 60s, that TV series. So I used to watch that with her, and she would just do her knitting, and she'd always like give, you know, do spoilers like the whole time. She'd just tell me exactly what was going to happen. Like she'd watch the reruns a lot. So anyway, so that was cool. And then kind of like an earlier era that I wanted to tell you guys about was sort of like this little bit of the, you know, because this is about film at this point. You know, now I'm like kind of going on to, sorry, I'm like all over the place. But like, here's the completion of the ice cream van, just so you guys know what that will look like. So, and I'll just be sharing that progress on Instagram and probably back on Flosstube. Anyway, okay. So yeah, then my grandpa, he actually fished in Alaska like in the early 1900s, and he was like kind of old for being like my grandma's husband. Like he was like, I think 20 years older than she was. So anyway, he had a book written about him that I don't even know the name. I think it was Spawn of the North, and don't even know how to get a copy. Maybe my aunts would know or something, but I never asked. But Hollywood ended up making a movie out of it, and the star was George Raft, and he would just play like a gangster, like not, like basically that was kind of what he was known for, like, I don't know, like sing, that kind of guy, like wise guy, and he was actually offered the role of the main character in Casablanca that Humphrey Bogart ended up playing, and George Raft didn't want it, and he said he was going for more interesting characters, and then he ended up playing my grandpa kind of soon after that, I believe. So, I'm from what I remember reading, so hopefully I'm being accurate here. But anyway, this is the movie Spawn of the North, and it's honestly, like, it's an okay movie, but he kind of played my grandpa like really in a sullen way, and I don't know, like it just kind of, and he's kind of like a little guy. Like my grandpa was more average, but anyway, this guy, he is kind of more like, it's like, I feel like it's an honor that he found my grandpa's story interesting. Like, that's cool. But I guess when he, from what I've been told, when he met my grandpa to, get a feel of how, who he was and stuff, he was like, well, you don't seem like such a tough guy. So, like he apparently thought that tough guys just, show off a lot, I guess, like maybe, kind of posture a lot. I guess maybe my grandpa didn't do that. Anyway, so yeah, Spawn of the North, not saying I recommend it, but it's just kind of like like a factoid, like it's like weird and kind of fun, I guess. Anyway, so, and that's 1938, that movie was 1938, so, anyway, yeah, and when my grandpa had moved to Astoria, he opened up the first stainless steel cannery for, like canning fish, so. Anyway, and so, kind of from like a similar era, I guess, like just a few years later, I actually, I don't think like my grandma or my grandpa, I'm not sure, but I don't think they were like Hitchcock fans or anything, but I am a Hitchcock fan, and I kind of love like black and white movies, but not all of them, but anyway, my favorite Hitchcock movie right now to date is this one. I get like the cheap copies because other ones that are like made in America or whatever are like, I don't know, like $30 to $50, like it's ridiculous. So anyway, I get like these copies that are on eBay for like, $4, and then the shipping's like about $4, something like that. So yeah, so Rebecca, and it has Laurence Olivier and Joan Fontaine, and it is phenomenal. I love it. If you like kind of the creepy, like kind of like film noir kind of feel, like you'd probably love that. And let's see, and then my other absolute favorite of Hitchcock is Spellbound. So it's this one with Ingrid Bergman and Gregory Peck. So I don't remember the years of all these, but I think these are all kind of like 1940s, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, Rebecca was 1940. I'm not sure of Spellbound, but anyway. So then my other absolute favorite is actually in color. And I'm not sure the year of this one, but The Trouble with Harry, Shirley MacLaine, and I can't remember. Oh, John Forsythe and Edmund Gwenn. So anyway, wonderful, really funny. It's sort of like Weekend at Bernie's, but a little more classy than that, and maybe a little more realistic. Anyway, so apparently it wasn't huge in America because they weren't so macabre as England was at the time when it was released. So, but it was really good. So I think maybe a lot of people haven't heard of it because of that, because it wasn't as popular in America. Anyway, so yeah, and then just run like a couple by real quick of Hitchcock. So I love Rear Window, is really good. Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly, he's got a like broken leg, and he's an invalid, and all he sees is what's out his apartment window, and starts, you know, seeing things that maybe don't look right and stuff. So anyway, kind of showing like maybe what's the imagination and what's reality. So, and then this one, the Paradine Case. So that's a pretty good one. Kind of almost all Hitchcock movies have like a little bit of a surprise maybe at the end. So that one does. At least not like a, you know, blow you out of the water kind of surprise, but still, you know, I wasn't sure. So, and then Notorious is really good. Ingrid Bergman playing a spy, someone that has to spy on the Nazis. So that was pretty sweet. And then Shoutout. This one is pretty good, but like the main guy is like creepy. Anyway, so I'm trying to remember. Oh, Joseph Cotton. Yeah. But he's doing a good job at being creepy. He's supposed to be. Okay. And then I wanted to tell you guys about a movie that most people, it seems like they think it's Hitchcock, but it's not Hitchcock. It's this movie called Gaslight, and it has Ingrid Bergman and Charles Boyer, or Boyer, I'm not sure how they say it, but anyway, it won a couple of Academy Awards. Really good stuff. And this movie is where the term, that psychological term for gaslight, came from. And I believe the official definition of gaslight is that it's when someone is trying to make you think you're crazy. So not just someone who's telling you, oh no, that's not how it happened. But I think it's actually like the step further, someone trying to think you're crazy. But as, you know, time goes by and humans use language, we end up, the language ends up like gradually changing. So now to a lot of people, I think gaslight just means that you're trying to make someone believe something else is reality, not necessarily that they're also crazy. Anyway. And that Gaslight is, that movie is directed by George Cukor, or Cukor, so C-U-K-O-R. Anyway, poor George. Everyone thinks that it was Alfred Hitchcock that directed it now, but it is not. So that was 1944, if I didn't already say that. But I mean, I could see where people would get confused, you know, about, you know, who directed it. So whatever. I'm not going to be too hard on all of us, because I think I might have thought it too in the beginning, but I had to, like, after I watched it a couple times, I was like, okay, remember, not Hitchcock. So anyway, and then I want to tell you about my whip that has not progressed very much, and I don't think I've even shown this this part of it, because I was all excited that I was going to get done with the hem of the dress, and then I ran out of this color, and the color was apparently mislabeled by Krynic, so I've done the whole hem of her dress with the wrong green, but it's okay because it's pretty to me, but it's just been a pain to actually get the right color, because I just ordered, so it's the 015HL number 4 fine braid chartreuse. And actually it was mislabeled because chartreuse is the color that right here I started to stitch into it, and I was like, that does not match at all. And I was gonna try to make it work, and I'm like, no, not at all, it doesn't work. So anyway, it's actually 009 number 4 fine braid, and it's emerald. So that's what I'm waiting on, and 123 Stitches sending it to me. So depending on which warehouse it's coming from, I might have it soon. I might have it in another, maybe several days. So we'll see what happens as they change their warehouses around. So the other thing I wanted to tell you is like these petite point feet. That those are so like cute to me, like being the petite point, like the 1/1. But oh my goodness, it's so boring to me to do that. And besides petite point on the 28 count even weave, the smallest stitching that I have done, like smallest fabric count, is 22 count fabric. And I showed the piece on, I don't remember if it was like my first video or my second video on Flosstube, but I showed the, it was the Canticle Angel, and it was a stocking, and it was on black fabric, and that was really hard to see. So it's a good thing that I had a good light at the time, but I don't think I had an aught light yet, so that was really yeah, that was really a challenge, but it was beautiful, and I'm really glad I did it. So anyway, and then the Witch in a Cauldron is the next start I'm gonna do. I'll have that started by the next floss tube that I put together. And here I wanted to show you guys the fabric on the video because it is so gorgeous. It is hand dyed by Rolanda, of course, and it's a 28 count linen. So it is just so cool. It just looks like a, you know, like a fog or something you'd see in a, you know, old movie or something like that. That bright green is just so toxic looking. So absolutely love that fabric. And this is the Witch in a Cauldron, you know, bubble bath by Rolanda that I'm gonna do. So I will have that started next time. Ice Cream Van was just too fun to pass up. So that kind of took the Witch in a Cauldron took the back seat to that. And then I'm going to make this little guy into a needle minder, and I think this was by, oh my goodness, there's people who do what was it called, Ever After Clays on Etsy. She makes these little cute things, and a little cauldron here that I'll make into a needle minder for that. So really cute. I do like making my own needle minders. And then I'll put this one with it as well as the Gina's Unique Boutique. And I actually have several different Bride of Frankenstein needle minders from her. I just love Bride of Frankenstein. I don't know why. And maybe I'll do my Bride of Frankenstein by Wee Little Stitches and Frankenstein. That couples one on the, I should just show you. Okay, so here is the Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein finish. And I actually want to turn this into, you know, put it in a hoop or a frame or something like that. Anyway, it is so cute. So next time I do one of these, the floss tubes, hopefully I can show you a finish of that. Okay, and let's see. Oh, and then one more of the little project. Well, I guess it's kind of a project bag, but it's just more like for a big project. And this is so cute. I love this. I got one of these for the first time, you know, meant specifically for cross stitch, something as big as this. And this was by Ragtag Quilter, I believe is what it's called. Hold on, Ragtag Quilt Art. So that's what her shop is on Etsy. So really, really cool. You know, nice handles, nice zipper. You know, cute inside, very neat. So for my bigger projects, so perfect. And then I also got from Stitchy Princess Black. She's on Instagram and also on Etsy. She's Stitchy Princess on Etsy and on Instagram, Stitchy Princess Black. And then she's got the underscores between the words. So I love the Baba Yaga stuff, like you know, their legend in like Ukraine and Russia, I believe. So this one I got the relax one, so it's just Baba Yaga relaxing in the tub. Or is it just a regular witch? I think it's supposed to be Baba Yaga. So anyway, I love that. And then I got Magical Swamp from her also. And I love this one. This is really pretty. I can't remember who it was, and I'm really sorry. I don't know if you watched the Flosstube, so maybe you won't even see it. But there's another lady that has done this pattern or is working on it. And it just turned out so cool. I really wanted to do it myself. So it's called Swamp, or Magical Swamp rather. I'm really messing up. Oh, that's okay, I guess. So then next one I got is just called Baba Yaga and the legendary witch of Slavic folklore. So I want to do this one someday soon. Really cool. So cute. I love stuff like that. Like folklore and more local lore also. And then for Christmas, the gnome, sweet gnome pattern that she did. Oh, so cute. I'm probably going to end up getting one of those Baba Yaga ones. Anyway, and then I got some, when I got home from my vacation, I ended up getting in my mail my samplers, the Bronte samplers, and one of them was from the Northumberland House account, Anita, who's on Etsy, and she's also on Instagram. So it's North Sampler House on Instagram, and then Northumberland Sampler House on, oh, did I say it wrong? So it's Northumberland Sampler House on Instagram, and then on Etsy it's North Sampler House. Anyway, so Anita, the most amazing thing ever, she sent me the Anne kit, and I have big plans for the Anne, Emily, and Charlotte Bronte. Well, she sent me the pattern anyway, but the patterns, these samplers, I have big plans. So yeah, that's let's see. So by Moria Blackburn, she apparently made these into the patterns. But I got these from the Charlotte and the Emily samplers. I got them from, let's see, what is her, sorry, I'm just looking for the it's Homespun Sampler, where I got these on Etsy. So yeah, so those, I'm so jazzed to do these. I'm gonna do them on, so that was the Charlotte, and here's the Emily. So I mean, it would be, I think it would be like, a good thing to honor them and do them exactly how they did them, with the same color, and with the same color floss, with the same fabric. But that would be good to honor them that way. But I want to update it, and it's not, it's not bad to like update something, and I wanted to update them by putting them, I do want to put them on, oh sorry, that's gonna be really crinkly, but I want to put them on this like 28 count Glasgow flax linen. It's just the most beautiful, like sorry, I had to sneeze. The most beautiful, like supple linen, and on this website that I bought off of, it says that it's the most expensive. I'm like, oh, okay, well, guess that makes sense, because sometimes when I get linens, I've had a bad experience where they don't turn out to be the right color, or they just are they're a little too frayed for my taste. So anyway, I love that Glasgow linen. Okay, and then the last thing, the other thing I was gonna do with the Bronte samplers is, so I'm gonna do it on this color, but I am going to use the variegated floss, and I will post the shop name that I got this floss from, but I'm gonna do Anne's in pinks, variegated floss in pink, but like different, like lighter and darker, and then Emily's I'm going to do in purple that are lighter and darker, and then Charlotte's I'm going to do in blues and grays. So it will be so pretty. I'm going to love them, I think. And hopefully everybody else will, most people will enjoy them too and not think it's, too colorful for the Brontes. So I bet you the Brontes would like it. I hope. Anyway, and this is the last thing I got from the Homespun Sampler Etsy shop. The Strawberry Hill samplers. I mean, so nice. It's so cute. I couldn't resist. Really nice, just quick little sampler. I'll do one day. And then for a shout out, my last shout out, my last item, and it is going to be a shout out for a floss tuber. He's been floss tubing way longer than I have. He has many videos, and I need to binge on them. I have watched one or two of them, and his name is Sean, and his floss tube is Lost in Books, Film, and Floss. And then his Instagram is Books, Film, Floss, and it's just one word. And he does a lot of like stunning heaven and earth design pieces. They're like fantasy, and he actually, I mean, that's really cool for me to see other people doing hades, I guess people call them. So, it is interesting to see the process and the projects that they do for me. And also, like, he stitches them diagonally and says that that's like a technique that he loves. And so I am like amazed by that. I'm like, maybe if I were doing that, maybe I'd want to do a heaven and earth design. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, and then he also has cats, and he loves books and film also. So anyway, yeah, if you want to go check him out, I would recommend it. And thank you for the shout out also, Sean. So hope that you guys all have a great weekend, and that we'll see you in another week or two. I'm not sure the next time I'm gonna do one, just because I'm not really sure how much stitching I'm gonna get done, because school's starting and everything. So we'll see. So thanks for watching.